Judy, it's a family affair for both you and me today.
Why do you say that?
Well, because you have a real man behind you.
I know he's made an appearance tonight.
He's full on and just holding it back the whole time, just waiting for us to get on the air. And then I have our illustrious executive producer to my side, watching the Niners game as it happens, even though the Niners are handily in charge of the Giants as we speak, 17-6. She is still one of those people. Does not matter. She is going to freak the fuck out no matter what the circumstance of the game.
So I heard her and I was like, why does she sound like she's dying back there? But the last time I checked, I was like, the Niners were up 17-3 before I hopped onto the computer.
Yeah, no, she's constantly, no matter what, she is in a stress sandwich. You know,
I understand.
She's the kind of person that needs to smoke weed.
Oh. Did she smoke before watching the game?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Welcome to a conversation with Judy and Ryan right here on YouTube at TABPOD. Please make sure if you're enjoying the podcast that you go check us out there. If you're ever on YouTube, give us a like, a share, a subscribe. That's what I'm supposed to be saying. Don't worry about the viewfinder being on, okay? We leave that in there for you, the viewer. Like I said, Easter egg. Maybe not so much now that I'm telling you about it, but hey, only you get to experience it.
Exactly.
We have a lot. Well, I have a lot of nervous energy going on tonight because we're trying something brand new for the first time, and I just feel like a adolescent boy that's growing up on the spot. Yeah. Because we no longer are adhering to the rules of Zoom.
Wow, I mean, it's been a year that we got off Zoom, and now we're starting something new.
Yeah, we decided that we're going to take this show a wee bit more seriously and not just do a Zoom chat. Shut up!
Sorry.
No, you're not. You care more about your damn team than you do my show. Oh, they got scored on. It's okay, honey. It'll be okay. Okay. Now shut up.
Wow. They got scored on at home. Yikes.
Oof. You know what's very funny is that regardless of what happens, whether they win or they lose, when she listens to that being said back to her on Tuesday, she's gonna feel all like,
she's gonna text me. I know it. It's okay.
She'd be like, I feel terrible now, Judy. But yes, please make sure you go and check us out on YouTube at TVPOD. If you're listening to us on the podcast, or if you just like audio podcasts, that's fine. You can ignore what I told you. Check us out wherever you audio podcast. If it's not there, then you don't audio podcast at a good place. What can I tell you?
Clearly.
You know, a conversation with Judy and Ryan. I'm saying look that up when you go to the podcast place. Anyway, moving on.
I wish we chosen like a shorter name.
Why? I love it.
I mean, I love our name, but now we think about it, like I have to type in a conversation with Judy and Ryan.
Yeah, but at some point you're just gonna put in a conversation
and like, it's gonna pop up.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what you have to believe in, right? It's just
you're right.
Because that's really what's going on. Is at some point it's going to be, because what happens now is nobody's really a conversation with. Like, yeah, there's a couple out there, right? But really, when you put in a conversation, you find like episodes of other podcasts, right? Where the name of the episode is a conversation with so and so celebrity. Right?
True.
So we just got to keep at it, and we'll be the only conversationalists on the block.
That's what we're hoping for.
That is. Okay. You know what? I was going to start with why I am broken. And if you don't know what I mean by that, because you're not watching YouTube, because I just put on the screen our names for the week. My name is Broken. Judy's name is Judy. Okay. So I'm
It's my name.
gonna get into why I am broken this week, because a couple different things have happened to me. But first, I love it. I love Real Man in the back. It's like, yeah, yeah, da, 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 yeah.
Also, I just want to say real quick, if I look like I'm looking here, I told Ryan this before we started, and it's like really tripping me out because I'm on to talk on the camera like how I'm doing right now, but I want to do it at the same time that I'm looking at Ryan, so it looks like I'm still talking to him. But now with our new layout, it doesn't work out this way. So now I have to look like this, which I don't know what I'm looking like because I can't see myself. Because if I look at myself, I'm looking over here.
Live television, baby.
I love it for us. So if it just doesn't look like I'm looking at who I'm supposed to be talking to, my bad. Sorry, y'all, for all of our YouTube watchers and our TikTokers.
It's okay. Like the entire year I've been looking off to my left. Or I was looking off to my right until I switched my setup. It's fine. Nobody actually cares. Like, you know, they didn't put us on to actually look at how amazing we look talking to each other, right? No, they put us on to have it on in the background, and just they decided to use YouTube as the form of listening to it, right?
True.
And then every now and then they might pop on and be like, did he really just say that? I gotta make sure that those words came out of his mouth. And they rewind it and they see me say the dumb thing that I just said, right? But nah, I mean, like at the end of the day, I watch people do podcasts every day, and they will spend the entire podcast looking like their camera will be set up straight forward like mine and yours is, and they will do the entire thing looking this way. Okay.
Okay.
Because like you said, they want to look at the person that they're talking to. That's how their setup is. It's as long as you're comfortable and the content is showing that you're comfortable because it's good, people will deal with that. Okay. And if they don't want to deal with it, they can maybe deal with me on TikTok, because this is what we're talking about first. Before I talk about why I was broken, something happened, and it was a real conflict for me this week. Okay.
Okay.
So Judy has been posting all of these videos on TikTok, doing a great job. And one that came up was about the weed ninja, right? She tells her entire story. She, talks about what happened, and the video. Sorry. If you didn't see it, this is what I should have said. Sorry. A lot of nervous energy. If you didn't see it, basically, she was at a Beyonce concert. Someone in a row in front of her was smoking weed, and it was blowing into her face all night. She was upset by that. So in our TikTok, someone posted or commented, I should say.
They commented.
What? Judy sounds like a dweeb. And I was... Go ahead.
And I replied, as on my account, LOL, thanks.
So, to be fair to you, Judy, this is why I love you so much, because you understand how to deal with trolls. Because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to congratulate them or ignore them, but you never entice them, right?
Right.
So, because what did he have to say after that? Oh, you said thanks, you bitch.
I wish he continued. He just liked my comment though.
Oh, okay, good. So
yeah, he liked it.
Hopefully,
yeah.
But I was very conflicted because on one hand, we are trying to grow this thing, and any interaction that we get, whether it be negative or positive, is something that helps us.
Yeah.
But I'm talking. God, right as I was getting into it. But at the same time, I want to stick up for my friend. And I was on TikTok yesterday looking at these two comments for a good 5 minutes, and I got so overwhelmed that I just closed the app and I haven't opened it since. I'm sure whatever you posted today was a banger, but I have no idea because I cannot bring myself to open up TikTok yet.
And see the comments again.
Well, no, it's not the comments are fine, right? Because if someone was commenting to me, then I know what I would say.
Yeah.
I would probably tell them how stupid they are for trying to be an archer while they're in Boy Scouts, because I'll argue with a fucking 12-year-old. But this is that juxtaposition of the professional and the personal.
Yeah.
Do I defend my friend at the possible cost of losing someone that could, really hurt the algorithm or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
And I also the issue, because let's be honest, if he was out of line, it would have been like like if I can block you, if I'll I'll put you on notice, but he called you a dweeb. And that was it was funny to me. Like,
okay, it was funny to me too. I was like, of all the words to call me,
right?
It was like dweeb came into your vocabulary. Like, all right.
So, that's why to me, like, I just wanted you to. I was very conflicted. Okay.
It's okay.
All right. So,
can you
as
turn
promised.
it down a little bit? Thank you.
As promised.
Not all the way. It's just a little bit.
All right. We'll try it for a third time.
I finished.
Okay.
I'm just gonna wait until I think you're ready. I'm just gonna wait a little longer just to get. Okay. You know what's cool is I have since we're doing this on our own, I have a full timer here. So I'm like, yeah. And we're gonna wait until the timer goes off.
Ooh, and that'll be our
and that's like, no matter what, we're just gonna go until the time. Then, no, so sad. Ooh, I'm gonna put it into the steam. By the way, totally get what you meant now by the in and out.
Yes.
And listening to last week's episode, in and out, So I don't know why the way you were describing to me at the time, it was like I thought you meant like it was just ending too fast or something like that. Like, so I'm like, okay, I don't get. But then when I heard, I was like, she meant like it's cutting in and out. Okay. You, Ryan, should be a better listener. Okay.
Okay.
Man, look at his back. Like you could just see striations almost in that thing. Oh my god. People, if you're not on YouTube at TABPOD, because no, don't go.
Right. Ryan said no, don't go. He's gonna go play Zelda.
Oh,
in the room.
That's right. Because after last week, you actually started after Counselor Ryan stepped in and helped your relationship, the communication of your relationship, right? Because let's be honest, right? Yeah. Your and Keith's relationship is like 99.9% perfect, right? But no one can have, other than me, no one can have a perfect relationship, right? So I was just trying to help, but it seems like my guidance has prevailed for you. Because you learn not only is he playing Zelda now, what else is he playing?
That's it.
No, he was playing something else on the PlayStation.
Oh, Destiny 2.
There we go. I was like, please don't forget what, because you told me what it was on Saturday.
I told you on the pre-meeting. He was here.
Exactly. So,
anyways. But yes, the sound. So I'm hoping with this new platform, our sounds will be crisp.
I'm hoping that also we'll find. We're not doing any sound tonight.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to risk it with everything because honestly, I wasn't even sure if we were going to do it on here tonight until you were like, hey, you want to just send me the link? I'm like, okay, we're doing it. Deep end.
We're just jumping head first, all right?
All right. So, but the thing that I've been trying to set up for 5 minutes now, and I apologize. There were 3 things that broke me this week. And Judy, I'm going to let you decide which we talk about. Okay.
Okay.
So 1 is regarding real estate. 1 is regarding parenting. 1 is regarding my job.
Ooh, well, I love a Workplace Chronicles with Ryan. So let's start with that first.
Here we take it to the Workplace Chronicles. All right. So we already know that it's not the easiest thing to keep people in the office, right?
Right.
But I don't know if I told you guys, we lost a trainee a couple weeks ago. So we've been down that person we were supposed to get.
Mm-hmm.
He decided to quit because while training, he needed to turn it into a remote job, even though no one gets to work remote. And then also, how are you going to train remotely?
Yeah.
So
I still need to know where y'all find these people.
I'm telling
There's
you,
one
man,
that just takes vacations.
it is just a cardboard sign on the side of a road that says, "We'll hire anyone." Pulse, come on in.
You know what? I'm gonna look up like an Indeed posting for your job, and I'm gonna see what it says.
I'll find it for you. I've seen him on there. I'll find it.
Okay.
After this week, I've been looking. Let me tell you.
Okay.
So we lost him, and then last week, 2 people were out all week. One because she/her baby had COVID, right? Another one because her kids were sick, and then by the time that they weren't sick, she was now sick, right? So like these are reasonable reasons for them to be missing. I'm not actually upset for people that miss, but because of that, on top of other people missing other days, normally, we're running at like a third of our staff essentially. And the phone calls don't stop coming in. And those phone calls are full of mean people that are upset because their bill went up. Like everyone is upset. Guess what, people? My bill went up. Alex at the Insurance Emporium, she's costing me an extra $50 a month now. Okay? It's all of us. It's not just you. Why do you have to call me and keep me on hostage on the phone for 20 minutes and tell me about how everything is not your fault and you're on a fixed income and you can't do anything about it and this and that? Like, I can do anything. I can't. Yeah. You know what I can do? I can make sure your discounts are still there. I can make sure nothing's out of whack. But if it is just because there's a rate increase, sorry. Right. I had one lady, I swear to God, she kept me she kept me as a hostage on the phone, like I said, for 20 minutes. During this time, she complained about how she gets a discount that her husband doesn't get. So why is her car only $2 less over 6 months than his car? Even though it's completely separated by type of vehicle, person driving it, all this stuff, right? Then she proceeded to tell me how even though her policy started in 2008, that's not early enough. She's been with the company since the early 90s, so there must have been a mistake. She told me about that. I'm not kidding when I say this. No less than 8 times. Okay? Then she proceeded to talk about how she once wanted to file a claim, and my boss decided, or didn't decide, but convinced her to not file the claim, right?
Okay.
And she was upset about that because if her rate was going to go up anyway, why shouldn't she just have filed the claim? Even though this was from years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then also proceed to tell me how she felt like my boss was threatening her
Oh,
because if she did make the claim, he would ensure that she would get canceled. And I honestly, I couldn't stop myself because by the time she said that, we're good 18 minutes in. Okay.
Right.
So I couldn't help myself but just say, well, I'm sorry that you felt that way. Because we all know what that means. That's a polite way of saying, go fuck yourself. I don't care about your feelings.
Yeah.
And she even said that too. She's like, well, that's not a real apology. I was like, well, what'd you expect? You're telling me that my boss threatened you. And as I know who he is, I somewhat know who he is as a person, I just don't think that he would do that. Right. Meanwhile, I didn't say this part, I should have. Meanwhile, you kept me on hold on the phone for 20 straight minutes complaining about the same things over and over and over. I wonder who has more credibility with me. But then again, I didn't have this conversation with her before today. And if I had, it would have been a closer race. Because after a full week of that, and then a following week of more people missing for those same people missing, but for other reasons now.
Yeah.
He comes to us today and he's like, hey guys, two things. One, I want to let you know that like, I'm taking everything seriously and I appreciate you all. It may not seem like it, but I do. And we're going through a hard time right now, but you know, it's going to be fine. And we're trying to hire people. You know, I keep celebrating with so-and-so, one of the managers, about how we're going to be staffed up soon. And then things keep happening. And I just want you all to know that after all this, when everything's settled, like at some point as a thank you, I'm going to take you guys out to dinner. Blow me with your dinner, okay? You know what I want? I want for you to hire, even if they're fucking retarded. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way, and it's not a good word, and I'm sorry. But even if they can barely make 2 and 2 into 4, just hire 18 people until we have enough overall that when 4 people call out, it's not demonstratively terrible for the rest of the staff.
Right.
Okay? I don't give a shit about the $50 or $100 or even $150 that you're going to spend on me on this dinner. Because at the end of the day, all I'm going to do is I'm going to have to spend more time with you.
Right.
And then I'm going to have to go back to work the next day and it's going to be the same shit.
Yeah.
I wish that was all that happened at work today. Because then this insurance emporium boss man, do you want to know how he thinks that we should deal with customers that upset us?
Ooh, how?
Do you think it's that we should be able to be like, you know what? We don't care about your business. Thank you very much, though. Have a good day. Do you think it's you can say go fuck yourself, but at the risk of your job? Do you think it's anything other than this man bought a punching bag for the office?
No, he didn't.
He did. He came over to my desk today after he had spent, I don't know, 2 hours all together putting this. It's one of the ones where it's got like a water stand for it to keep it heavy and it springs back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
After this man spent 2 hours putting that together, I've put those together. It takes 20 minutes. He had to go to Home Depot to put this thing together.
Shouldn't he be working?
Thank you, Judy. I am so grateful that you, within 2 minutes of hearing this story, understood why I was pissed off about what he was doing.
Just been like,
For anyone
what?
who wants to just say, Ryan just likes to complain about his job, yeah, I do. But you know what? And this is something that I live by. Attitude reflects leadership. Okay?
Yeah.
If my boss was in there at 9 a.m. and there until, you know what? Forget staying late. If he was there until even 4, I leave at 5:30. So if he was there until 4, you understand, I wouldn't care about any of the other stuff, because as much as I'm suffering, I know for a fact he's suffering too. And I'm not saying that he's not. Who knows? Maybe he's answering all these emails and all these calls on his personal line and everything. But I don't see it. So to me, it doesn't exist. I'm sorry, you don't get the benefit of the doubt with me.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So this man who spent 2 hours putting together a Suzanne Summers Lifetime Fitness punching bag then comes over to my desk
Oh, God.
and is like, hey, do you ever plan on hitting that thing? No, I don't. You want to know why? I know. Judy, would you like to know why?
Yes. Why?
Because if I'm angry enough that I want to hit something, I also want to yell and pound the shit out of it. And I don't really think that's an appropriate thing for the workplace.
No.
You know what I would like? If there was someone who like was holding me hostage, if you just said, oh, you know what? Anytime that something like that happens, I want you to just tell them, sir, ma'am, I don't want to lose your business, but at the same time, it's obvious that you need something. Let me send you to I gotta bleep that out. Let me send you I was doing so good too. Let me send you to the boss man. I gotta do this to make sure. In case you're wondering why I'm doing the wacky dance on @TABPOD on YouTube, it's so I can know where to do the edit.
Okay. Good job.
But that's honestly, you want to fix it, that's how you fix it. You give us, the ones who are getting our heads pounded in and day out, an outlet so that when that happens, we don't have to just sit there and take it.
Yeah.
But this man comes over to my desk and he asks me that, and I say no. He's like, well, just so you know, I mean, I hit it a little earlier, and it's kind of fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. And this is where he tries to get serious because he knows, maybe he doesn't realize it, but he just invited a workman's comp injury into this building so quickly, right?
Yeah.
We work in insurance, you dope. How could you not put 2 and 2 together? But he comes, he's like, so just I hit it. It's kind of fun. Like, no one should be like going as hard as they can on it. But you know, you get a customer who's kind of mean, and you get all amped up. It's a good way to let some frustration out. Ha ha.
Okay.
and then he decided that it was a good idea to show me how to punch.
Oh. Wow.
Because this is the kind of punching bag that if you hit it wrong, it'll mess your hand up because it's on a spring, and it's, you know what it's designed for? It's designed for like cardio kickboxing classes where people have gloves on, right?
Yeah.
That's the kind of punching bag this is. And so if you hit it wrong, you're going to hit this big metal pipe in the center of it and mess your hand up. So he's like, you got to kind of hit it on the side instead of straight on. You got to make sure your wrist is straight as you hit. And don't get me wrong. Nothing he was saying was incorrect.
Right.
But why the hell am I taking boxing tips from a man that all I have known about him is that he has sold insurance, he has been a fireman, he has sold timeshares, and he has sold cars. I don't remember, Judy, please, because I smoke a lot of weed. So please remind me, was there an extensive fighting background in there?
No, there was not.
No, there wasn't. So why, boss man, are you giving me fighting tips in the middle of the workday at the insurance emporium?
Right. When we should be working, we're on the clock.
Might as well be talking about milk.
I'm saying.
Oh.
God, that's crazy.
So that's why.
Jesus.
So all those things have made it so that work has broken me. I'm going to talk about the other thing that broke me with real estate. I was going to let you choose, but we only have about 9 minutes left. So I'm going to talk about the real estate. And the parenting will need some time. So we will talk about that on the second half. But one day during the middle of these excruciatingly painful work days.
Yeah.
Usually at lunch, I leave the office just so I'm not there. A lot of people eat their lunch in the back or whatever. I just get in my car and I go 50 feet away. I'm not driving far. I'm just driving so I'm not in the office to make sure my mind is clear for the next 25 minutes until I have to drive back, right? Mm-hmm. But one day, I just wanted to go for a bit of a drive. So I drove like 5 minutes away from where I was working. And I pulled into this little nice neighborhood. And I saw that one of the houses was for sale.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And I am not stupid. I understand the market. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to afford this house. It was a nice 1-story, 3-car garage, probably like 2,500 square feet, like not a big lot, but like not a small one, a nice, an above average lot. Right.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I didn't notice until after I left, but it also had like solar panels or whatever. But like I said, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to afford it, but I wanted to like take a look and see if it was something that was even feasible. Right.
Right.
I'm thinking this house, what I just described to you, is going to cost, even in this market, $600,000 was what I was hoping. More like, honestly, in my head, that was the hope, right? And it's honestly going to probably be like $800,000.
Okay.
I put the address into my phone, and it came back that house was $1.2 million.
Sheesh.
And I just sat in the car and I cried. I honestly cried a little bit because what the fuck am I working so hard for if I'm never going to be able to afford anything? Like, don't get me wrong. I get it. I need to go and actually like get a townhouse or a condo or something in order to buy something to get started. Like, I get that. I totally do. But it's just really, really disheartening when something that 2 years ago was maybe, like I said, 600,000, 700,000 because it's a nice house is now well on its way to being, by the time I would be ready to buy, close to $1.5 to $2 million.
Yep.
Like, and then, I was talking about this with our executive producer. Interest rates are at an all-time high too, right?
So much fun for us.
So not only can I not afford the home, but then I really can't afford the payment when I get it. And interest rates are supposed to dictate housing markets to a degree, because if it's high interest, then that would mean that you can't sell your home as easily. So the prices are supposed to come down, and yet they keep going up. And like, I don't know, like I saw that, and I've been that's been like in the back of my mind. That's the one thing where it's like, just keep scrimping and saving. And you splurge a little bit here and there, but like you don't do it nearly as much as you could because you're trying to save for your future and everything.
Yeah.
But honestly, if my down payment has to be what, $250,000, $300,000, like, and then even as a first time buyer with a zero down payment, let's say, but then I'm still with a mortgage payment for a terrible house at like $4,000 a month.
Yeah, it's really rough out there, and I don't know. I understand your pain as well, because we're getting ready to start that process soon. And I mean, the housing here isn't as expensive as it is out there, but still, it's still like, we have like some of our friends are saying like, the houses in their neighborhood, like when they bought it, 7 years ago, it was like at 150K, and now the same houses in the same neighborhood are going up for sale for like 450K. And we're like, oh.
Yeah. And I also understand part of it's the area, but that's what I'm saying. If I go to what are considered bad parts of town and bad areas, those houses I'm still priced out of having a house. Like, and that's why I go back. I get it. Condo, townhome, whatever. But like,
right. But then you don't want to be stuck in that. So there's all these videos of people like jokingly saying like, oh, back in 2020 when we bought our starter home, realizing it's our forever home now because we can't get out of, like, we can't sell this house and try to pay for the new house at these prices. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's, oh man,
it'll be fun. You'll be fine. I know you like we said, we really want to buy a house. So, you just got to push through and you'll make it work.
Yeah. I just, honestly, we gotta be rich. We just have to become independently wealthy somehow. That's, you
gotta drive 45 minutes to the state line and play the lottery at this point.
Oh, God, don't make me into a lotto person, please. Don't. I would rather suck dick on the side of the freeway than have to. That's gonna get clipped.
Oh, that sure is. Oh my God. Okay, so it's we have the lottery.
We have like, just so you know, we got about 2 minutes left.
Okay, just real quick. We have the lottery here in Texas. So whenever my parents see the lottery, like the jackpot is over like 200 million, they'll start texting me like, hey, can you just buy some lotto tickets? Because there's a 7-Eleven down the street from my house. And of course, I can just hop in, and I get it.
But they live here.
Yeah.
There's a Megabucks. Just go put $15 in the Megabucks. It's literally the exact same thing.
Exactly. I don't.
Did you say that to them?
I wish I could.
No, you wish you could. You just take the money and you say, okay, I'll get the lotto tickets.
Like, I'll put $2 in. It's literally, that's it. Like, I'm like, all right, fine. I'll put $2 in.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But anyways, all right. I'll see you on the next half.
Well, no, we're going until the alarm. I was just giving you a heads up.
Oh, I thought my 2 minutes was up.
No, I didn't. No, you barely talked for a minute. God.
I don't know. This thing is, I'm not used to this right now. I miss Zoom ladies saying like recording in progress. I need Alex to just tell us recording in progress. Can we get our EP recording to say?
Please don't say that, please, because she will. Oh yeah, I mean, like, I'll record it today, tomorrow, yesterday, 3 times on Tuesday, and then over the weekend we can work on other recordings. Like, don't. I'm still working on getting her to get me to do TikToks. Okay, had to have another conversation with her. We talked about this in the pre-show, or not the pre-show, in the production meeting. I'd have another conversation with her today. That's 2 strikes. Okay, that's 2 strikes for EP.
It's been 5 days.
Yeah,
6. I don't know how long it's been.
No, but she had a full week, and then I brought up the 1, so that's strike 1. And now it's been another 5 days, and she hasn't. look, I'm not saying that if she brings it up to me and I'm like, I'm not doing it, that's counting it. She didn't bring it up to me. That's strike two. I mean, I can't just let her slide just because she lets me slide it in. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta figure this out. Oh, can you hear it?
I can't. I heard a little ring-a-ding-ding.
Ah, all right. So that does it for our number. Stop. It's still going.
First half of our show.
I got distracted. Okay, yeah, I called it hour number one. I want to it's kind of like hour number one because it's the same amount of time that like a television hour would be because you have commercials. So it's really like 42 minutes of conversation, right? Mm-hmm. So hour number one in the books. When we come back, the trilogy is concluded. Part 3 of why I have been broken this week. Also, gonna talk some sports. Not gonna do it with any sound this week. We'll try and keep it brief, I promise you. And also, during sports, we determine if Travis Kelce is indeed black or not. It's coming up right here. Conversation with Judy and Ryan.
Woo!
Woo! Oh wait, no, woo! Welcome back to a conversation with Judy and Ryan right here on YouTube at TABPOD. Please remember, if you're on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, whatever video you're looking at. We can use all the help we can get. And it seems like people kind of like it sometimes. I don't know. It's mostly my mom and my brother who talk to me. But hey, over the course of the year, that is literally doubling the viewership.
It sure is.
I went from 1 to 2. Holla at your boy.
Woo!
Also, if you prefer audio podcasts, just look up any audio podcasting platform and Conversation with Judy and Ryan. Honestly, if you probably just put Judy and Ryan at this point, I'm guessing, it couldn't hurt. Check it out. Honestly, just put different combinations of the words of our podcast into the search bar. See what happens. It'll be fun. You can comment back to us. Maybe this mystery producer that is still a dick to me in all of our show descriptions, maybe, he'll get in on this. I don't know. But let us know about it.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Have you this producer? Are you sure you don't know who it is, Judy?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because
he seems to like you. He seems to like you.
How could you not?
Wow. Wow. Como se dice you got me fucked up right now.
What you mean, what I mean?
Wow, how could you not? Meanwhile, I'm over here just taking shots. He refers to you as the queen. I'm not like, don't get me wrong, you're awesome, right? But shit, man. All right. Enough gallivanting.
Yes, we got to finish the trilogy.
I don't know where I come up with these words. Okay.
I don't either, but it's so funny.
You know what it is? It's that as a child, you know how most kids our age, they grew up in front of the TV, but like most of the time they were outside or whatever because they didn't have cable or they didn't have all the game systems or something. Right. So something would drag them outside. I didn't have that. It was just me in my room for countless hours all night, cable television rocking, and I would just that was my best friend. I would have my little action figures. I would play little tournaments with all of them with the TV in the background, just talking all the nonsense of the words. And that's why at 37, while I'm talking to my co-host, just gallivanting, it just comes right out of me.
Oh, man.
All right.
I'm sorry.
All right. So the trilogy. A lot of stuff happened this week as a parent. And I feel like now I'm also I doubt myself a lot as a parent. And I know that that's probably going to sound surprising to our listeners based on what I was saying last week, but that was basically me. And I get it. You can take this for however you want it, but that was basically me trying to do that positive affirmation where if you say it, you'll believe it. And if you believe it, it's more apt to being true. Right. But man, I got some just desserts this week. I had the balls to call myself a good dad, and then this fucking week happened. I got into a really stupid argument with his mom in front of him, kind of.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, like it was a really long day. These are all excuses. I'm a grown man. I should have done better. I'm gonna say that now, right? It was a really long day, and Asher was taken to did I start the timer? I did. Okay, we're good. New show, new stuff, new technology, people. We're getting there. But Asher went to soccer practice, and then from soccer practice, he had a game. Our executive producer's sister was nice enough to take him to both, but he was late because he was taking his sweet time getting dressed. So he missed the first inning of his baseball game. So afterwards, his mom comes up and she talks to both of us. She's mostly talking to Alex because I'm not acknowledging because of the way she's talking. She was not being derogatory. She was not trying to be aggressive. And I say that because she's just a naturally aggressive talker. But I can tell she wasn't trying to be aggressive. But the thing that she does that irks me is that she never asks. She always tells.
Right. You mentioned that before.
Right. So it wasn't, it wasn't, hey, can we have him? I know, because she could have said it like this too, because we have talked about it before. She could have said, hey, I know we've talked about it before. Can we please just have him skip soccer on the days that he has baseball games so that this doesn't happen again? But instead, she walks over and she's like, just so you guys know, he missed the entire first inning. So he's not going to soccer on the days that he has baseball again.
Okay, bitch.
Right. And I'm just like, yeah, right. So I'm just like, I didn't say anything because, you know, I also get like, I'm not in the best headspace. Like, I know this. I'm just trying to sit back. Right. So we all walk to her car. Asher has to get dressed for he's going to dinner. He wants to get out of his baseball gear and everything. And so his mom is then like, well, you can get dressed out here or in the back seat of my car or in the back of daddy's car. And I'm like, wait, we just volunteer in my car? And she looks at me, she goes, well, you have more space in the back. And I'm thinking, and this is not a lie. I did not have the space in the back because I had literally just taken all of the stuff that we were going to donate and I had put it in the back of my car.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm like, no, I actually don't have the space. And look, I'm not going to sit here and say she started it or I started it. Regardless, like maybe I had something in my voice and she heard that and then she responded, or maybe she was just being a bitch. I don't know. But either way, it's just something that neither of us should have allowed to happen.
Right.
So I say I don't. And then she says it's fine, whatever. And I'm like, I know it's fine. Or no, she said my name. And you know, anytime someone says your name, that, yeah. It's like, no, it's fine, Ryan. Don't worry about it. And I was like, I know it's fine. You don't worry about it. I'm going to have to bleep her name out too.
Yeah, you're going to do this again.
Yeah. It's magic fingers. Magically, something got bleeped. So
you're just going in.
Yeah. So I told you, man, this broke me. Like I was just, so it's that, right? And we might have said one or two other things, but like the kid's not stupid. He knows how mommy and daddy talk to each other. He knows one. And I think I had said goodbye to him like when we first got to the car, but I usually say goodbye to him again. Mm-hmm. And at that point, I just walked off because I was pissed. our executive producer came up and she was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I was like, "I just can't talk to that woman." I didn't say woman, but I'm not going to say on here what I said out there because that would get me canceled.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, and that was that, right?
Yeah.
So if that had been the only thing that happened, you know, stuff like that happens, you deal.
Mm-hmm.
But on Wednesday, I got a phone call from Asher's school.
Oh.
And Asher got suspended
Ooh.
for the rest of the week from school and from Safekey for pushing a kid down. It's like the one thing that we talk about with him to not do, especially at school, is to put his hands on someone else.
Right.
And that's what happens. And like I said, when stuff like this happens, my brain goes to a couple different places. None of them are good. First one is how did I make this? How did I create this fuck up?
Right.
Because I try to be the best parent possible, and I try to tell him not to do stuff like this and not to put his hands on other people. And he is only 7, and I get that he's going to make decisions and make mistakes. But I'm the one, and by I mean his parents, but I'm giving myself the blame on this one.
Yeah.
I'm the one who's trying to build his foundation so that he doesn't make these mistakes. And I get it's a marathon and not a sprint, but when this happens, it just makes me think, like, how am I failing right now? What am I doing wrong? And then it's also, and this is way scarier. So for any parents who are dealing with this or who have ever dealt with this, I feel you and I get your fear. But then the other fear is, like, what if he's just a bad kid? And I pause real quick. I get that I am being very melodramatic or hyperbolic or whatever. This is a very small thing, but that's the fear that I have, is just like, we talk to him about not doing this stuff. We tell him that if he ever feels threatened, to go find someone to tell that he's being threatened or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that putting your hands on someone is the last thing. And I also get, because I've talked to our executive producer about it, and she likes to do the psychoanalytic thing where, like, well, Asher's going through a lot of stuff. He's realizing that mommy and daddy don't live together, and that there's a lot of anger and pain that go along with and all this stuff, right? And I'm not going to say that she's wrong, but it's a little much for me. It's completely correct, honestly, if you think about it. But, like, I'm sorry, neither of us have our psychiatric degree, so so my opinion's better. But yeah, that's the fear, is just that, like, you know, either he's bad or I'm fucking him up. And, you know, I get that it's an irrational fear because there's no way to be able to control the situation better than what I am doing. Well, I believe anyway. But yeah, I mean, I think that's also one of the things where you always, especially when you only get one shot, because really that's what parenting is. You might get to try the same thing over and over again. Like if he lies or if he gets into fights or whatever, you get multiple shots at it. But, you know, you only get that one shot, that one time, you know, and that's an imprint that's left on him forever. So,
right.
Welcome to my therapy session, ladies and gentlemen. That's how I should have started the show off tonight.
So wait, so he's been at home this whole week?
I guess he's been with his mom.
His mom.
It happened on one of her days. So
Dang, that sucks. And you said save keys, so like, does that mean she's had to take off work? to watch him, or I mean, that's not the end of the business. So like, it's out of my hands. But
I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, there's other stuff, but like, no, I don't care what she has to do in order to take care of him. As long as she does a good job at this point. So
yeah,
that's me being a jaded ex-husband. So,
man, what a week for you.
Yeah.
And it's only Thursday.
Yeah.
Wow. Jesus.
Why'd you have to say it like that, Judy?
Sorry.
Oh,
man,
God.
It's been a lot. Like, that's me saying, like, if I had a really long day at work on Tuesday, like on Monday and Tuesday, I'd be like, damn, it's been a long week. And my coworker's like, girl, it's Tuesday. I'm like, yeah, I said what I said.
Girl, I took a personal day on Wednesday. Like, I had to have I had to have a conversation. Like, so yeah, on Tuesday, just on Monday and Tuesday, just got beat to shit. So on Wednesday, I took a personal day and I had to talk with the EP, and she was like, mental health days are important. You know, we can't lose you over this stupid job. And to be fair to her, she knows me so well. Like, I'm not sitting here saying that I was ever contemplating suicide, right?
Yeah.
But I do know myself well enough to know that if I didn't have the responsibilities that I have now of being a father, of being a husband, of being a breadwinner, all these things that make it even more pressurized on me in this fucking vice of a life. But if I didn't have those things, it would have been real hard for me not,
to go into that place. Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, as I'm talking about this, something happened in the background. So I'm just talking about, like, yeah, it was a real hard week for me. I thought about suicide or whatever. I just hear our EP like, catch it. Let's see what happens. Was it a direct snap to Debo?
The score?
No, that's Purdy. I don't know, but Purdy threw it far and Debo caught it. Okay. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. Like, it was cool. Oh, you froze. Oh, there you are.
I'm still here.
I'm not going to lie. It was a cool play, but I don't think it was worth interrupting my moment. So
yeah, that was
conversation with her about that. That's not cool.
Not cool.
All right. I do want to talk about some sports with you.
Yes.
Well, how much time do we have?
Okay, so our recording is at like 59, so that means we still have about 20-ish minutes, I'm guessing.
We got about 24 minutes left.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
So, Judy, you've been having some stuff happen with your fantasy team this week, or just in general.
Just, yes.
I specifically have avoided talking to you about fantasy.
Okay.
And the reason is because I hate fantasy sports talk. Right?
Yeah.
And it's very obvious why. Everyone has a different team, right? And yeah, most people will play in 2 or 3 leagues. And so you might have one of the players over 7 teams, but like, honestly, half the time that you're talking about your team, and I'm saying the Royal You, it's not relating to 90% of the audience.
It's not.
Right? So that's why, because I've been seeing your tweets or your Twixes. I've been seeing them. I know that you were 1-0, and I think you're 2-0 now because of like some real thin marginal luck.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm ready for it. But that's why I have not talked to you about it. And that's why, we might only be talking about like every couple of weeks. This is how my mom feels about sports.
If I want to bring it up at all, right?
If you could just not talk about it, my life would be so much better. Let me tell you. But please tell me what's been going on.
No, I really just want to talk about. It was Monday night because there was the doubleheader game, right? It was the Steelers and that one team that we don't talk about. The Saints and the Panthers. And so both the games are on kind of late here. And the Steelers game was on, I think I went to bed like maybe around 10, a little after 10. and it was barely the end of the third quarter. I gotta go to sleep.
Oh,
But
by the way, sorry, real quick. Strike 2.5 for the executive producer. She didn't realize why we weren't talking about that team.
oh,
She was like, "Oh,
yeah, strike
he's
it
on
out.
that team. Oh yeah, that's why we don't." I was like, "No, Crusader, you should have known."
Should have
Anyway, I'm
known. That was like the biggest news.
Continue. I'm
Anyways.
sorry.
So I go to bed. I checked my score last time. The guy I'm playing against is up by like 2.5 points. All right. And my only player that's playing is the running back for the Steelers, so Najee Harris. And I mean, that team that we don't talk about, defense was just crushing the running game for the Steelers. Like, homie had like negative points at halftime on my fantasy league. All right. I was like, I'm going to go to bed. I'm probably going to lose. And the guy I'm playing against, we made a bet. So this is why it was kind of a little important that I won because I didn't want to lose the bet. But I'm like, okay, somehow, maybe I'm going to lose and I'll wake up and like, damn, I lost the bet. So I wake up the next day and somehow like Najee Harris had some breakout runs, I guess, because I won by 2 points.
You had because you put a screenshot of the scores on your Twix, and it was one of those scores too where like you had to actually look like and count all the points because I don't think that adds up correctly, because he had a couple that like of scores that should have just put you out of contention.
I should have just lost.
Yeah, but then he also had a couple that you like squeaked out. And then just the combination of everything. Honestly, at first I was like, the math ain't mathin'. Hold on.
I couldn't get the whole picture. Like there were more players underneath us, but regardless.
Yeah.
And it was funny because he's one of my friends, and he's like, damn, if I just started, I think if he just started Geno Smith, he would have won he would have won the game regardless of.
That's what you get. That is what you get for going.
Yeah. Oh, and he listens to our podcast, so you should have just started Geno Smith.
Yeah, come on, man. You should have written to Geno. He might have written you back on that one. Thank you for listening. What's his name?
Otis.
That's a good, strong name. Did you ever watch the movie Milo and Otis?
No.
No? Aw, it's about a little puppy and a kitten, and they get lost and they go on this adventure together. It's live action. I think it's from like the 80s. I watched the shit out of that when I was little.
No, every time I hear his name, you ever watch the Temptations movie?
Sure.
Where he goes, ain't nobody come see you, Otis.
Oh, God.
What? You done with the game? No.
That's all right. We're not doing a show. Here. Sorry. Like, don't get me wrong. I get it. He came in, but like, you just ignore the entire show. You just turn. It's time to have a conversation.
You didn't even do your real man thing.
Because I'm upset. Because I'm upset. I'm upset first, okay? I'm supposed to be interrupting you for Keith. You don't even give me the opportunity anymore because you're off just interrupting me for Keith, okay?
It's this whole new setup. It's got to be a little frantic here.
We both have a lot of nervous energy. It's fine.
But yeah, so that's all. And all I say is our bet was I had to wear like a shirt or put on a shirt that says like, I suck at fantasy football. And I told him that he has to wear a Cowboy shirt and post pictures on Twitter and Instagram because he's not a Cowboys fan, but who cares? And so I'm just waiting for, if I ever get the picture, I'll post it on this TikTok short. Okay. Yeah.
Now I got another thing I have to clip just for TikTok now.
Sorry. Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's fine. Oh, this is gonna be famous. He's gonna have 235 to 255 people seeing him in that shirt.
Look, maybe we'll break 300s like my dweeb comment with my.
Oh, we broke 300 with that one.
Yeah, I think we were. Last time I
Oh.
checked, I think we were like at 317.
Okay, like I said, I stared at the comments for so long and I shut it down. I haven't looked at it since. Okay, I didn't know. Yay!
Yay!
Oh, I
Oh
was very
man,
torn. Okay, I was very
I know.
conflicted.
I know.
Oh,
That's okay. It's
and
all right.
then your Cowboys. I'm speaking of
Oh
conflicted. Your
my
Cowboys I'm
God.
conflicted with because through 2 weeks, other than the 49ers, they look like they might be the best team in football. But hey, you've had some injuries today,
Yep,
specifically.
just today. Wow.
And B, like the one thing, now maybe that's by design, but the one thing that has not looked impressive is your offense.
Yes. So I think I put on our little notes and it said red zone woes. And I mean, yeah, like so last week's game. Okay, I know we're gonna keep this short. Last week's game, CeeDee Lamb had like an amazing game, like 10 catches, 140 plus yards, but no TDs. All right, like, huh? And I think we were like in the red zone for maybe 5 plays, and we only got maybe more than 5, but we only got 2 TDs. Everything else was field goals. We cannot win good football games by winning. I mean, by like just kicking field goals, field goals.
I would honestly disagree with you on that, though. I
Really?
1,000% disagree, and the reason for that is now, granted, like I said, injuries today. The big one is that it looks like you've lost Trayvon Diggs.
For the year.
Your number one cornerback looks like he's gone.
Love Trayvon Diggs.
But what I would say is that now, depending on how it looks afterwards, but let's just say everything is still fine.
Right.
Defensively, you guys have top 3 defense in the league right now, right? So as long as your offense doesn't kill you,
right,
there shouldn't be a game. Honestly, remember how in Hard Knocks, I'm not going to go on a whole Hard Knocks thing yet, but remember how in Hard Knocks, everyone was like, man, the defensive coordinator was like, man, we're going to be good, boys. Aaron Rodgers is going to keep us in every single game this year. We just have to show up and do our job, right?
Right.
That's how I feel it is for your offense. I feel like the offense just has to show up and do its job and not make life harder for the defense.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Agree.
I don't disagree with what you're saying because everyone, especially Cowboys, Dak Prescott being first and foremost, has said that the offense needs to play better complementary football. But in my opinion, that is playing complementary football. Just don't give the ball to the other team. Just come away positive points after every possession, whether it's 6 or 3, just whatever you have to do. And is that going to win you every single game? No, but it's going to win you more games than putting the ball in the hands of Dak, who is playing really well right now, but I wouldn't want him being the guy who has to go light it up Patrick Mahomes style.
Right. Yeah.
So
exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. So like, honestly, I'm not impressed by anything that the offense has done so far, but I really hope that's by design, in which they're just like, you know what? We're going to play to our strength, and our strength is at all game with the whoosies and ha's, and now I got your alarm.
What does she have an alarm for?
Oh, she's high. That's what she got too freaked out. And she got too freaked out by being up 30-12.
Oh my God.
So she had to smoke. Instead of telling me to do TikToks, strike 3.
Yeah. So
too bad we're not playing baseball. 7 strikes and you're out.
That's all you got from me from sports.
Yeah. Okay. So one thing I just want to say is that this week, the New York Rob Salas, they took a hit. Right? The New York Rob Salas. I didn't think
we were going to get Rob Saleh again in the show.
Oh, we're always going to get Rob Saleh. You know why? Because I looked at that tape in the dark And I didn't like who my quarterback was. I didn't like what the tape said about him. It said that he throws it to the other team too fucking much. And I don't think that he's someone that I can contend with. I don't think he's someone who will command. And I barely think he is someone who will compete. So Zach Wilson in the book of Rob Saleh is a survivor. And I can't win with survivors. I feel like that's how he would end all. That's how he should. Like anytime he's pissed and he's like talking to his offensive line, he's like, "You guys, you lost me my best offensive piece instantly. I didn't even get a half of football, and you lost him for me." And then at the end, it's just how he exits.
That's it.
That's how the New York Rob Salehs make an exit.
Fair.
Oh man, they got beat down this week. I don't even know what the score was. It was bad. Seahawks won in overtime. I'm not gonna yell this week. We had communication about this last week, and she still walks in my fucking shot. It's all right. Seahawks won in overtime. I was very happy about that. A lot of talk about how we won on a holding call. Did you see that?
No.
A lot of people are saying that our offensive line held their defensive end on the play. Guess what? We did. We won. Okay? There was
That's
a couple plays. There's a couple plays where the Lions, the running back, is holding the defender by the waist. He's behind him, holding him by the waist, and they didn't call it. Okay? So guess what? Sucks to suck, Detroit. Get good.
Get good.
You know what sucks is that this is what I'm getting on my soapbox on this week, right?
Yeah.
What I got on my soapbox about parenting last week, Asher becomes a fucking delinquent. Watch, we're going to lose 3 players for the season in the first 3 minutes of the game. Knock on wood. I hope that
Why
doesn't
would you
happen.
say something like
Because
that?
I just cursed my team by being too big-headed. Anytime I'm like, yeah, it gets fucked up. You know the last time that I was like perfectly scared of my team not doing well? The Super Bowl in New York. Ever since then, I've just been super confident, and Tom Brady was there. I'm still working things out on that one. I'm sorry.
Someone's behind you.
I know. You're trying. You're trying to test me. It's okay. I am going to prevail.
Sure. Woosah. Woosah. All right. Okay, can we not with the Rob Salehs for the rest of this episode?
Why do you hate him so much?
I don't. But you're making me hate him.
All right. I have a theory about Travis Kelce.
He's
My
dating
theory,
Taylor Swift.
This is part of the theory. My theory is that Travis Kelce is black.
Okay.
Okay? One. I gotta hear this in the background. Have you heard that man talk?
Yes.
He talks with a swagger that only someone of the African persuasion can talk.
Okay.
If you ever listen to his podcast, New Heights, his brother Jason talks like a white guy who's fun and outgoing.
Right. Yep.
Travis sounds like a black guy who is fun and outgoing. 2. Have you seen the way that man dresses?
Yes.
It is nothing but swag. He was out here golfing with Mahomes and Clay Thompson and Steph Curry in a wool suit.
Oh
it was short. The suit was shorts, but it was a wool suit. You cannot pull that off unless you have the swag of an Africanus. And then number 3, we're not going to talk about the athletics. I feel like that's an antiquated argument, but I mean, he is the best tight end of all time, arguably. And normally a black person would be considered the best athlete of all time. So you do with that information what you want. We're going to go past that. What is the number one thing that black men have been hated on since the beginning of time?
What is it?
Dating white women. And Travis Kelce is taking Taylor Swift off the market. He just took the number one white woman off the market. Get this brother into the meetings.
I actually preferred Travis's ex-girlfriend.
Oh,
cool.
I'm sorry. What was his ex-girlfriend?
She was an IG model, I think.
Was she not a beautiful ebony queen?
She was, yes.
Yeah, see? And what are black men also famous for? Dumping black women for white women.
Okay.
You want to disagree, but can you?
No. Anyways, I'm not gonna get
By the
into
way,
that.
we're going to, this is a disclaimer to say that anything that Ryan says does not fully represent a conversation with Judy and Ryan. It is just the lunatic ravings of an eccentric man with too much time on his hands and too many jokes in his brain. Please do, I'm giving a disclaimer. Please do not take anything that Ryan says seriously as a derogatory statement or anything words towards Judy. Ryan of yes.
Thank you. God, let me just say one thing. Travis Kelce was fine, and then he has this stupid porn stash now, so now he is not fine. I'm sorry. I cannot deal with the fucking porn stash that's going on. Every time I see him on the sideline, like, why? Why do you have that stupid porn stash on your face?
Okay, so would it be worse though? If it like is the porn stash worse, or would it be worse if he did like the handlebars where it came all the way down?
I don't know.
It's not a goatee because you're still shaving like everything here.
It's just just grow the full beard back again, Travis. That's all we care about. Please.
Maybe he did it because so he could look more country western, so that he could like get Taylor from her roots. It's like, hey, I know that you used to do like Western and country music, and I want to be your Huckleberry. Except with more swag because he's black.
I guess. Wow.
You know what I love is that you cannot disprove that I'm correct other than like his DNA. But like, yeah. But
Mama Kelce?
No, honestly, I'm so happy. Thank you, Judy. My argument was incorrect. It was an incorrect hypothesis. It's not that he is black. It's that he should identify as black.
I don't think the community would allow him to do that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He could, I think he is the first one with all of the evidence I just gave you. He could pull it off. He's like, just so you know, Travis Kelce, being of sound mind and body, am now declaring that I identify as a black person. That still does not mean that I am allowed an N-word pass. We're still waiting on the paperwork. But as of this time, I am electing to identify as an African American male.
Okay.
You know what? I mean, people are out there probably making arguments as to why, like, anyone who like identifies as an incorrect gender, like that's the argument that they're probably trying to make. But but now that I've said it, it makes sense. I mean, like
You're like, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, like before when people would say it, I was like, that's out of pocket. But now that I'm hearing it, okay. So we got 2 minutes left.
Wow.
Before you're like, oh my God, thank God. If I had to hear him talking about goddamn Travis being black for one more second, I was gonna kill myself.
Wow, 2 minutes. This 40 minutes has flown by really. Honestly, like where?
Did you hear about? We're gonna go a little over because I want to talk to you about this. But did you hear about the Cash App glitch that happened?
No.
So there was this glitch that allowed people to basically deposit free money into their account, right?
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And now that Cash App has fixed the glitch, all of these people are having to give that money back.
Yeah.
And people are going like, on the best side, I've seen like minus $25, but I've seen minus 40,000, minus 500,000. Like it's bad. If half of that is true, it is very bad. And the fact that anyone out there thought that they were just going to get free money from Cash App.
Right. Like that.
You know what happened? If I had been able to put money in my account from Cash App for free, you know what the first thing I'm doing is? Deleting Cash App and disconnecting all of my accounts so that when this thing gets fixed, you can't take all the money back.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Or like I would, yeah. What?
I mean, and then just to hear people being like, and now people know that you can't just get free money from Cash App. Like, how stupid are you to think that if you keep everything connected, that it's just going to be okay? And guess what's going to happen? If you disconnect it, they're going to send the cops to your house because that is grand theft. Shut up, iPad. I'm in the middle of a rant. It's grand theft. So you can't steal $40,000 from anyone.
No, from anyone, even if it's their fault that there was a glitch or something. I don't know what to tell y'all. Like, why did you think you'd get away with it?
Why do I have a feeling that I'm going to have this conversation with Asher at some point? You can't steal free money. It's not free money, Asher. Okay?
You probably have this
God.
Be like, but it was just there. Like,
it was all I do was hit.
They gave me a check.
I had
deposited
plus
the check.
50,000, and it said, "Congratulations, go buy Bakugan."
Look, you know what? Someday I hope someone does miraculously, incorrectly deposit $50,000 in my bank account.
Yeah, but if they do, I saw that tweet. But if they do, you're gonna be smart enough to close your bank account.
Exactly.
You're going to the bank that day and you're withdraw. I will sit here all day and watch you count all the money. Give it to me right now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So
I don't care. Right. Pull up that report, please. I will fill it out just so I can get my $50,000 in cash.
I will pay the taxes on it right here and now.
Right here now. Yes. Okay.
All right, that will do it for a conversation with Ryan and Judy. Thank you so much,
Judy and Ryan.
Oh,
damn, God. You haven't messed it up in like episodes.
And you haven't like, even when I have messed it up, you haven't jumped in like because you were angry about it in a minute. So damn, look at you. Conversation with Judy and Ryan. But yeah, no, thank you guys so much for listening. I know I've said a couple times already, if you have a chance, we really would appreciate it if you would like, share, and or subscribe to any of the content that we put out. Yes. Honestly, the thing we would like the most is if you would comment, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like. Doesn't mean that we're going to change anything, but at least then you'll cause me more conflict if you called Judy a dweeb. And I'm just like, yeah. Do I say something to this person or do I'm just going to put the phone away and then it doesn't exist anymore?
Maybe we'll never know.
But we appreciate you guys. And we'll see you next week.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.